Good morning. It's good to be back in Japan again and to see so many familiar faces and also to see some new faces. I welcome this opportunity to give you an update on what we've been doing at InterSystems for the last year, what our current strategic product direction is, and to talk a little bit in detail about each of the products. Most of you know us because of our focus on what we call now our core technology products, Cache, Ensemble, and Deep Sea. Over the last couple of years, we've been adding new products which are really solutions for healthcare. So our business today falls into these two categories: technologies that allow you to build sophisticated new applications or to extend those applications, and end-user focused solutions that are designed specifically for healthcare. As you can see, the bulk of our business is still in the core technology area. In 2009, about 85% of our revenue was from core technology, from Cache, Ensemble, and Deep Sea sales. Traditionally, and by traditionally I mean since we first introduced Cache in 1997, this side of the business has been growing at between 15 and 18% a year, every year. We expect that growth to continue. We expect to continue to see growth between 15 and 20% in our core technology business, the business of Cache, Ensemble, Deep Sea, and tools that developers use to build sophisticated applications. The healthcare solutions business that we have is today a small fraction of our overall revenue, but we expect that to grow at a much higher rate for the next 3 to 5 years. Specifically this year, from 2009 to 2010, we expect that part of the business to almost double from 2009 to 2010. Nevertheless, the heart of the business remains the same. It remains unchanged. All of our products are based on our core technology. All of our products ultimately are based on Cache, and we continue to make significant investments in the core of Cache, and that benefits everything that we're doing. It benefits you, and it benefits the solution providers that take our healthcare solutions. I'd like to start by talking in some detail about the characteristics of breakthrough applications. I really want to focus a lot of what I'll talk about today on our core technology products and what we're doing there. And what drives that are the kinds of applications that partners like you and partners that we have in the United States and partners that we have in Europe are building using Cache, using Ensemble. And I'd start by just giving some what I think are the key characteristics that make those applications extremely successful. For some years we've been talking about the importance of applications today being connectable. I think everyone agrees that no application today, except maybe an application built for iPhone or something, is built by itself. Most enterprise applications exist in the context of other applications. They get data from other applications. They rely on processes from other applications. They use authentication or authorization from other sources. And so applications today are increasingly connectable, and it's a really important characteristic of successful applications that you engineer your applications to be connectable. To give you an example of an extremely powerful breakthrough application that was developed in the last year by one of our partners, I'm going to talk about a company in the United States called Brazier's. Brazier's business is auto auctions, selling large quantities of used vehicles at very high volume. And when I say very high volume, They sell between 15 million and 16 million vehicles every year. They have 5 auction sites in the western United States, and every day of the week they have an auction at one of those sites. A vehicle moves through that site. It is brought in, is bid upon, and is sold every 20 seconds. At their bigger sites, at their bigger auctions, they have multiple vehicles being sold at the same time. As many as 8 different auctioneers selling a vehicle here, a vehicle there, a vehicle there at the same time. So it's a really high throughput, interactive process where a vehicle comes in, is bought, sold, and moves on very quickly. As you can imagine, the logistics and the expense of moving so many vehicles through an auction site in such high volume every day is quite considerable. That is where braziers were when they first started using cache. They were wheeling vehicles in and sending them out the other side. There was some use of the internet to tell people beforehand about what vehicles would be available and some of their history. But all of the process was a large physical process with many vehicles moving through and lots of chaos. Building on some video preview system that they had, where people could bid, could see vehicles online and bid on vehicles online, Braziers is now moving increasingly towards not having the vehicles present at all in their auction site. Instead, they are moving to a virtual auction where the vehicles do not need to be transported. And yet, the auction still takes place against large screens in the auction site and with many more bidders participating on the internet. As you can imagine, this results in a huge savings to them, both at the auction site in terms of reducing the logistics costs that they need, as well as the transportation cost of bringing so many vehicles to an auction site and then dispatching them out to the buyer. Besides the tangible savings, there are intangible benefits that they're quite proud of, including significant environmental benefits from not transporting so many vehicles and moving them around just in order for them to be sold. Part of what makes this possible for braziers is using the many, many ways of connecting to other data sources and involving participants remotely using cache, whether it's by allowing participants to bid using cache server pages directly over the web, looking up data from third-party sources about the book value of vehicles and displaying that in real time for people, interaction with Google Maps to show where vehicles are currently located, and so on. All communication with the people who consign vehicles to braziers for sale is now done electronically. So it replaces the faxes, the bill of ladings that got printed out and sent with the truck transport. All of that has been replaced by electronic communications as well.